Hey YouTube, so I thought I might hit you with this, make a video about this particular guitar. This is a Harmony, I believe it's a H1215, was made, unless I'm mistaken, in 1963, and this is the guitar that I used in my cover of Charlie Patton that you can find on my YouTube channel. And I wanted to get on here and speak about this for a moment because you'll find these guitars occasionally. These are things that show up in thrift stores, things of that nature. You'll find them on eBay, very low prices. I got this guitar $25 at a thrift store about a decade ago with the original case, the chipboard case. And when you find these, typically they're going to be in very, very poor condition, but they have a beautiful sound to them. I can demonstrate. You can hear it much better in the Charlie Patton video that I just made. But one thing I wanted to talk about, because these are really cool guitars, and I think they're worth saving. So I just wanted to get on here and discuss that a little bit, my approach to how I saved, if we want to use that term, this particular guitar. There's two aspects to it. With these guitars, with a normal acoustic guitar, what you'll find is that, I've heard differing figures, but anywhere between 160 and 200 pounds of pressure from the strings tuned to standard tuning. These guitars were made, someone correct me if I'm wrong, I believe primarily of birch, with the Harmony factory in the USA. You'll find them under different brands. This one's very similar to one that famously Belton Sutherland, the great Belton Sutherland, used. His had a K logo. Mine is a Harmony, but they're not dissimilar guitars. His was much older than this one, obviously, but manufactured in a very, very similar way. In any event, the reason why you'll find these in poor condition typically is, number one, because they'll end up in someone's closet, under a couch, under a bed somewhere, and the string tension will have been left on the strings for many, many years. They'll have been left in pitch, and what that causes is the strings to pull on the neck at the neck joint. So you have tension sitting here at the bridge, you have tension sitting at the headstock, all that tension is pulling, and the weak point is right here. So you'll find them with the neck heel here that's going to be pulled up, because that's the weakest point between the body and the neck of the guitar, and that's where all the tension is going to pull. The way you compensate for that, because the string action is normally going to be very high, you can see the string action on mine. Let's see if I can get a shot of it here. It's just about high enough to where I want to play a slide on it. It was much higher when I started. There were two tools that I used in order to get the string tension to where it sits right now. One of them, and probably the most important, is the new bridge that's on there. This is a Graphtec, I forget the exact term, low profile Graphtec bridge. It's a replacement. Graphtec did some amazing work in creating these bridges. They sit much lower than the original bridges that came with these guitars. I still have the original bridge that came on this guitar. It's sitting in the guitar case. But you can go buy this Graphtec bridge. I think it's $40 to somewhere between $30 and $40 at the outside to get a bridge like this one, to where it's going to drop your strings down to where the height of the string is much more playable than you might find this guitar with originally. The other thing that I do is that I will use these particular strings right here. These are Ernie Ball earth-wound silken steel, extra soft, much lighter strings. These ones are 10 set, 10 through 50. And these are sort of designed to put less pressure on the guitar. So those are the two things that, if you find one of these guitars you want to get it playing again, which I strongly recommend you do, because the sound of these is absolutely beautiful, and it's not something you can replicate with pretty much any other kind of acoustic guitar. So if you find one of these cheap, save it. They're wonderful machines for playing blues, for playing a lot of music. And you can absolutely save them and restore them and keep them playing for another, I mean, this one was made in 1963, so pull another 50 years out of the guitar or more. It's worth saving if you come across one of these. I keep this guitar, as you will find in the description of the Charlie Patton cover I did, I keep this guitar in open F. It's open F Spanish tuning, so Spanish tuning is typically going to be open G. Charlie tuned his guitars way up. This one is open G down a whole step. So there's significantly less pressure sitting on that neck joint. Those are really kind of the three key elements. Tune it down a little bit. Doesn't necessarily work so well in a full band scenario, I know. But if you're playing folk blues and you're more of a singer-songwriter person like me, it's a great way to go. So tune the guitar down a little bit. It fits in my vocal range better even, because I'm more of a low baritone, I guess would be the terminology. In any event, tune it down a little bit. Keep it to where your lower string is going to be a C, which with this being open G, Spanish down a whole step, that's a C string on top. Much less tension on the neck joint. Get a low profile bridge like that Graph Tech and use the Ernie Ball Earthwood Silk and Steel strings. Your guitar will go for another 50 years, 100 years. Long outlive you, long outlive me. All right, later.